Scorpio, I can see that you are really in your head about a relationship that you are growing from, you're expanding, and you're really trying to figure out a lot of details as to and wrap your mind around what happened. You're having a hard time recognizing why things happened the way they did. You wished and hoped and prayed and expected an outcome, and it didn't kind of happen that way. So it really, really is messing with your mental right now. You are trying to create a strategy and be very emotionally strong right now. You're just having a hard time figuring out why. It's like you planned ahead. You said, well, it was going to be like this, and everything, made sense. We had this. I'm seeing like a house, it was all set up. It was all that way. And then something happened, something changed. You've been burned. You definitely were burned is what it is. Something happened. They broke your heart. Your heart's broken right now. And you're trying to logically find out why. Like, why did my heart break? Why did they do this to me? Why did I wish, hope, pray, and put my love into something? And I've been burned. Why did this happen? You're literally like researching, trying to figure out what you did wrong. You're trying to come up with ideas and create a strategy. You just don't get it. You're like, I don't understand what I did. Can I learn? Like, you're trying to figure out what you did. And I think the message to really hold on to here, if you can see, she's really holding on to these strings, holding her up, right? She's trying to like hold herself higher. And I feel like the message here is everything outside of you that you're trying to research, that you're looking into, that you're trying to discover, isn't going to provide you with the answers. Whatever happened, whatever went wrong, it's not your fault. It's a lesson. It's something to learn and grow from and not get stuck in that energy. You're currently stuck in that energy. It's kind of making you angry as well. You're defensive and possibly unaware of this fact. And it seems as if you're like, why? Like you're quite angry. You're frustrated. You feel like you did everything. You feel like you did what you were supposed to do. You planned, you strategized, and now you're at this place having to make a choice, having to make a decision. Do I kill them? That's all that's not, don't literally kill nobody. But it's like, you're that mad. You're that angry. You're like, what do I do here? How can I get my revenge? How can I heal from this and become better and follow my plan and really move forward? You're really trying to figure out a way to move forward. You're having a hard time staying in the present. You're having a hard time staying in the moment, meditating. And you haven't had this issue in the past. You've been able to meditate. You've been able to find a place of peace. And now you're really struggling with that. You're not able to create this force field of energy around you because of how in your head you are right now. You keep researching and trying to find the answers on the outside when everything that you need to know is already inside of you. It's literally within. Like, nothing's outside. It's all in there. It's all inside of you. It's all within. And even though that's really annoying and really difficult to understand when you're frustrated and stuck in your thoughts, that's the truth. The truth is, if you want the answers that you're seeking, you're trying to investigate, you're studying right now, you could be literally on social media, like trying to find why this person did this to you, trying to see who they're talking to. You're trying to figure out why everything happened. And that's not the actual question that's going to give you the answer that you seek. Sometimes we wish and hope and pray for things to happen. And we manifest this. We manifest a life, a situation that isn't necessarily what we envisioned. And I feel like what happened was this: you literally got burned. What you manifested and brought into your life, My throat. That's strange. I wonder if that's communication or something about communication. But whatever you manifested hurt you and you don't get it. You're like, why would something I manifested, something I brought in, I planned it. I thought it all through. Whoa. You did everything. You're like, 2 + 2 = 4. I strategized. I created a plan. Why did this happen this way? Why would someone hurt me that I just did all this loving, like, this is you. You're like, I love you and I just want you. And and then you got burned. This is a typical Scorpio thing, because what we do is we find people that we want to love and nurture and control and possess, and not in a negative way necessarily. Our intention isn't like, I want to control and possess you necessarily, but we just want someone that's ours. We want to say, you're mine. Like, you are mine. You're not going nowhere. This is where you're going to be. And you felt like if you loved and loved and loved and sacrificed enough, wished, hoped, and prayed enough, that person would be there. And something happened where this person that you were so passionate about and so on fire with is gone. And they seem to be moving on a lot easier than you, huh? You're having an issue. You're struggling. You're in your head. You're stuck. You're like, what the hell? Like, why? You're having a hard time grounding yourself. I can see the roots here as you struggling to put yourself in the earth and just connect and be content with what has happened, because you are smart, you are witty, and you didn't see this coming. You didn't see this coming, and that bothers you. It bothers you didn't see this coming. And now it's like, all right, so now I have to create a new plan, a new strategy. I have to come up with my next steps forward. And the thing about Scorpios, we want to see so far in the future. We want to be so far ahead, because if we're ahead, people can't hurt us, because we're planning beyond that. We get that could happen. So we're planning so far ahead that if that were to happen, we're moves ahead of it. And this blindsided you. You didn't expect it this way. So you're emotionally frustrated, and you're logically trying to figure out why. And in order to save yourself some time and struggle is to recognize what you do have. Because right now, I see you're really focused on the negative. You're focused on what went wrong. You're trying to plan for this to not happen again. You don't want this to happen again. So creating a strategy and planning so far ahead isn't necessarily what's going to get you what you're seeking, because when you do that, you're not allowing the universe to help you, because you're trying to control everything. We can be very controlling, can't we? We want to control everything around us, because if we do that, then things won't hurt us as much. And that's not how it's not going to work that way. That was part of the lesson in which you were trying to be, what the universe was trying to show you. And it's a really good time to focus on what you do have, like the friends, the positive influences in your life, the things that you have to do. What are you working on? What are your hobbies and interests? How can you build and grow yourself to be better and transform? Because that's what we do. We transform. We cannot help it. It's our nature to go from one energy and to die and be birthed anew. Like, we have to go through these changes in order to function properly. It's our energy. It's destructive. And right now you're there. You're at an end of a chapter and the beginning of a chapter. You're literally right at that turning point, and it's difficult because you're so trying to figure out the last chapter to plan the next chapter, and you're not going to be able to do that because you can't foresee everything that's going to happen. You can't control and plan everything that's going to happen. You have to allow your emotions to you have to allow them to flow and to be still and to calm your thoughts. Your thoughts are so crazy right now. You're having a really hard time being calm. And you have to realize that right now is the stage of cocooning. You're almost out of the cocoon. The butterfly's here, right? This is the next step. This is what happens next. You're about to be a butterfly. You're about to transform. You're about to get that next transformation, that regeneration, because you'll have many in your life. That's nature, right? And for Scorpio, it may be a little bit harder. It may be a little bit more difficult. You're a little bit more sensitive. Hello, I am a very sensitive person. I get it. Like, it's hard when someone hurts you to not want to go back and hurt them, to go back and give them what they gave you, to serve them their own medicine, to teach them what it feels like, right? You just want someone to feel your pain, right? You want to understand your pain. You want to understand the darkness. You thought you went through all this trauma and this, you thought you did it. You just were like, you didn't expect this, and that bothers you. It's the control factor. You have a control issue. And it's not to say you're bad at all. It's to say that it's to learn how to release control for better things in the future. We are the corner. So if reality was a square, right? Scorpio is one square of reality, or one corner of the square of reality. The other zodiacs are kind of in the middle, along with the other fixed signs making that square. But we control a part of the corner because we are fixed. We are the part of reality that is stubborn and fixated, and we can get lost in the dark because we are so comfortable there. We can go to the deep depths of the ocean and get stuck and lost because we're so obsessively trying to figure out that energy. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like you're really struggling to get out of that right now. It may take you a little bit longer than those around you. And you're like, why can everyone else just get by and get over things? And I'm just stuck in this energy, right? But the thing is, you're almost out. You're almost over it. You almost have healed this part of yourself to learn. You're learning. We're all growing and expanding here. And the hummingbird is such a magical creature to me. And I truly believe the hummingbird exists in multiple dimensions. I think that some creatures, and as I say that, a massive crow just flew on my freaking roof. Oh my gosh. And it's not even a crow, it's a raven. So confirmation, and it flew away. So the hummingbird can exist in multiple dimensions, and so can you. It's about recognizing the journey that you're on and how far you've come and how far you're going. The hummingbird is a traveling creature. It can travel long distances seeking nectar, right? It's not fixated and stuck on the dark, hard stuff. It's finding the sweetness. It's looking for the sweetest flower, the most abundant resource that it can find that will give it the sweetness that it's looking for, right? And I feel like here it's telling you to tap into this magical power that you have. Tap into the anomaly that you are. Recognize that just as dark, see how it's like rising above the darkness? Look how it's like dark down here. It's like rising above the darkness and recognizing your superpower, that you have the ability to almost, because I'm seeing multiple dimensions, and I'm seeing the hummingbird literally flying through it to places where, we have this 3-dimensional reality, and then we have 4 and 5D and places where fairies exist. And I'm just seeing it going back and forth. It exists most of its time, in my opinion, like where it's more magical, which is the Scorpio as well. We internally in our imaginations live more where it's magical. We get bored with 3D. We get bored with just the boring world. We want to dig into your soul and bring up the darkest depths so you can see them and work through them. We're like, here you go. Here's the darkness in you. Let's work it out together with a smile on our face. And that's kind of what the energy is asking you to do. Is it may seem dark to some, but for you, that's like, oh, that makes sense. Okay. So it's like shifting, because we're also manipulators, right? We're able to mutate energy. So it's like taking the energy and manipulating it instead of obsessing and fixating over what you did wrong. What are you doing right? What are you, and how can you transmute this energy to do something better? Whoever hurts you, if you give them even your pain and your hate, you're giving away your power. It's really about internalizing it, growing it, expanding it. That's what the snake is here for, is to show you that you have, this is like the kundalini at the bottom of your spine, this power that just wants to shoot out of you and radiate onto the world. What wisdom, right? This is the advice here. What's the wisdom that you've gained from this experience? Put your emotions away for a moment, right? That's what this Queen of Swords can do. This is air energy. Like, you've got a lot of air energy here. A lot of Aquarius energy, Libra and Gemini as well. And I feel like here it's saying, put the sword away. It's not time to fight. Be ready. Defend yourself for sure. But how are you maybe being more defensive than you need to be? How do you defend what needs to be defended? How do you, again, rise above? Because the Queen of Swords, she's sitting on some high peak. Look how high these flags are. Like, she's up in the sky somewhere. It's really about rising above what happened, putting your emotions away for a moment, because that's what this is. It's like, if you see her little cup right there in the little prison cell, she's locking away her emotions so she can think rationally, so she can capture those thoughts that are flying away right now. It's like, okay, heart, calm down. Let me put you away. Let me separate myself for a moment, isolate myself for a moment, not completely, but enough that I can think through what has happened to me and how I can grow that. How can I organize, create a plan and a strategy to not allow this in again? What details did I miss? Because you're going to find it out. It's not that you shouldn't search, you shouldn't look. Finding the information is great. It's about the details. Like, what details are you missing that you're not seeing because of what you're fixating on, what you're focusing on? How can you adapt here? How can you kind of go with the flow? Even though, or just like any other water sign, we do have the ability to go with the flow, the energy. Whether it's air, water, earth, or fire, it has a flow to it, right? Fire has a flow. Earth is very still and fixed, right? It's like just calm usually. And then fire is very, it's destructive, but it can also be tamed. And then we've got water, which could also be crazy, but it's usually, the stillness. But it flows, it goes, I'm thinking of like a river. And it's like finding that energy within you. Taming your water. That's what it is. You just got this hurricane going right now. And it's about taming it. This is the best card in the world to me. It's the Heart of Sky. And this is when we can step back and see reality objectively. We take our emotions out of it. we look through the eyes of God, our third eye ability, our mind's eye that can see so far and deep into the cosmos, into reality, that we don't allow the emotions to guide us. We're so high and above and deep in our meditation that there's no reason. There's no reason to lash out. There's no reason to seek revenge. There's no reason to know the answer as to why you've been hurt, because you already know. You already know, you already get it, you already have the knowing. Your intuition is your Akashic record. You have the ability to tap in to all knowledge and information. It's about, can you control your emotions? Can you get out of your head and also your heart? Can you balance the two? Can you find a space where you equally can harmonize the two energies to tap into your highest power, which is what this is trying to say. So here in the beginning, this is you, right? You're hoping and wishing and praying, and you're trying to connect. Remember, you're trying to connect up here into the cosmos. You're wishing upon a star. Well, here's your star. Here's you. You are the star. You are the energy here that you're trying to pull in. You're wishing up. You're looking up. You're asking from higher power. You're like, where you're looking around for the power that's already here. Like, this is internal. The physical reality is only a projection. It is an experience. And to really tap in and to become the greatest version of yourself, it's about finding that present moment, right? Seeking that clarity within and capturing the moment. Because if we're fixated on the past or obsessing about the future, how can we be this? It's impossible. That's why the Time Master's here, behind this fire. I was wondering about that. So you got this Time Master here, and it's trying to show you that you are the master of time. There is no past, there is no future, present. They're all simultaneous. There's no confusion when you recognize the now. When you sit in the moment and slow down. The thing is, everyone's moving so fast. We've been trained at this time to move so quickly. And it's really about being right here, right now. This moment is the connection that you seek. Every passion, every great masterpiece, everything you seek and are trying to create in life right now, always happens right now. Your future self is going to be in the now moment, just like your past self was in the now moment. You will accomplish your greatness and love, your journey. You will have everything you seek, but you're not going to find it out there. It's all inside of you. I'm going to read the Heart of Sky because it's beautiful. Because it's beautiful and you need to hear it. Okay? I'm just a little bossy. All right, so the Heart of Sky, the essence. The Heart of Sky is the love force that made all creation possible. This same force is present when you create with originality, when you bring formlessness to form, or inspired ideas to expression. This primeval force does not know good or bad. It is up to us to provide the clear intention that we guide it to manifest. The Heart of Sky helps us call in beauty from the invisible world and birth it in the world of matter. The invitation, the Heart of Sky, brings you a sacred reminder. You are a channel for the original energy of creation. Become the paintbrush. the canvas, and the artist, all guided by the heart of sky. Set your intention ethically and clearly, and allow the universe to take care of the details. You may feel responsible for everything and everyone. Perhaps you think you have to do it all alone. This takes you into a dark hole where you lose trust in the natural order of the cosmos. Shed your lofty sense of duty and recognize that this is a false prison of your own making. You can open the door and set yourself free at any instant. So if you remember, you're in, like I said, the moment isn't the present. So the past and the future is where you're getting lost in there. In that, this was the details it was saying. So focusing on all the little details, like obsessing and fixating, it's like that's where you're losing your connection. That's where you're like, man, I felt that connection before, but I've lost it. Well, it's because you're so fixated. You're so obsessed and trying to control. This is the energy you want to be in. This is my favorite card, at least in this deck. Possibly out of all of them, I don't know. But it's just the most absolutely brilliant to disconnect from good or bad. Don't associate that person with bad or you with good or you with bad. Or just be. It's about being present in the now to connect to the higher power that you're seeking. So that's what I have. I have to also mention, I have another channel where I talk about a lot of spiritual topics. It's Jasmine Universe, linked in the description below if you want to check that out. And if you could like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, that'd be amazing as well. Thank you so much for watching. That's all I have. I appreciate you, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.